In 2004, I was ecstatic to finally get a copy of Guns N' Roses' Greatest Hits. The 14-track album was exactly what I needed and wanted at the time for being introduced to what at one time was the most dangerous band in the world. Also around this time, VH1 released a Behind the Music on the group, and so at the time, I was getting great education on the band. It wasn't until years later that I learned that the Greatest Hits album was almost completely cancelled. It goes back to when the now Axl-only version of the band in 1994 was working on the album that would eventually become Chinese Democracy. Geffen Records had poured millions of dollars into the project over the decade and had grown frustrated with the lack of progress. The company openly said that completing the album was now Axl's financial obligation, not theirs. Not too soon after that, they decided to release this compilation to get back some of their investment. When word got to Axl, he was furious, and so were former bandmates Slash and Duff. They never spoke to each other directly, but the trio filed a lawsuit in an attempt to block it from being released. Their main arguments being that they weren't involved in the track selection, they didn't approve the remastering. The former members and some fans also felt that the selections for the record didn't accurately reflect them, especially considering it included so many cover songs. Axl specifically felt that this album would divert fan attention away from Chinese Democracy. A judge would throw out the case, and the album would see a release as scheduled. With this and the TV special, it was believed that a reunion was actually in the works, but this wasn't the case, and nothing more than rumors. The album was hugely successful and did exactly what Geffen wanted, and renewed interest in the band. Some reviewers agreed with the group in that the track selection ignored some of the better and deeper cuts in the catalog. Most agreed, however, that the album was exactly what it was meant to be, a highlight of the band's most commercially successful pieces. For me and a lot of other younger fans, this was our first exposure to the group, and I played it pretty consistently. I do see the argument for how short the collection is, though. The band has more than enough material for a double album collection. I do also believe that at the time, if Geffen had decided to get the band involved in the project, we'd still be waiting on it to be released. I don't know if the band warmed up to the idea or not, but the album would have a reissue on vinyl, with an additional track, Shadow of Your Love. While they may or may not have cared for it, it was an integral part of my introduction to the group, and for many, is a must-have for collectors. What do you think about this album? Let me know in the comments below. The content on this channel is made possible from viewers like you. Help the channel grow by supporting me on Ko-fi, which you can find a link to below. You can also help by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you guys next time.